Arnstadt is a town in Ilm-Kreis, Thuringia, Germany, on the river Gera, about 20 kilometers south of Erfurt, the capital of Thuringia. Arnstadt is one of the oldest towns in Thuringia, and has a well-preserved historic centre with a partially preserved town wall. The town is nicknamed Das Thüringer Wald because of its location on the northern edge of the forest.Arnstadt has a population of some 25,000. The city centre is on the west side of Gera. The municipality comprises 4 villages: Angelhausen, Oberndorf, Dosdorf, Espenfeld, Ruderselben, and Siegelbach. The neighbouring municipalities are Wachsenberg, Kirchheim, Alkersleben, Thornholm, Wickfratel, Plory, and Gossel. History. A deed of gift issued the 1st of May 704 in Würzburg by the Thuringian Duke Hedin II to the Anglo-Saxon Bishop Willibrord of Utrecht is the first written reference to Arnstadt, along with 2 other towns, the oldest documented reference of settlements in Thuringia and central and eastern Germany. In 726, Arnstadt passed to the Abbey of Echternach. According to historian August Beck, in 925 the territories of Henry I were extended as a bulwark against the invading Hungary. On the 17th of December 954, Holy Roman Emperor Otto I made peace in Arnstadt with his rebellious son Ludolf of Swabia and another son, William, whom he appointed Archbishop of Mainz, and decided that the Liebfrau Enkisch would be built. In the 12th century a part of Arnstadt fell under the rule of the Counts of Kevernberg. On the 8th of March 1198 the princes gathered in Arnstadt and elected Philip of Swabia as King of Germany. In 1220 Arnstadt was first described as a civitas, that is, a city. On the 21st of April 1266, the abbot of the Abbey of Hersfeld granted a charter. Thereafter, Arnstadt became a hub for trade in timber, grain, wine and wood. After the extinction of Kevernberg from 1302 to 1306, the Counts of Schwarzburg took possession of Arnstadt. Attempts by Erfurt 1342 and 1345 to seize what was now a wealthy town failed due to the strong attachment. Arnstadt's prosperity was based on the milling industry, the cloth-making trade, tanneries, and trade in wine, wood, grain, wool, and vegetables. On the 30th of January 1349, Count Gunther 21 of Schwarzburg, an adversary of King Charles IV, was elected and crowned sovereign of Arnstadt in Frankfurt. He renounced this title on the 26th of May for 20,000 silver marks. A 1404 reference was found in 2000 to bratwurst originating in Arnstadt. Therefore the town claims its invention. In 1496, ownership of Arnstadt was divided into the Supremacy Arnstadt and Subrule Sondershausen. During the German Peasants' War 95 participants in the uprising were beheaded as ringleaders in the Arnstadt marketplace. On the 17th of June and the 2nd of August 1525, the city was forced to pay 3,000 guilders for supporting the insurgents. In 1531 the Reformation was introduced into Arnstadt. At first, even the Franciscan mendicant was the Benedictine Novodevichy convent. 1538 secularized. From 1581 the Church of Barfusser Cloisters was the main church of the city. In 1553, work began on the Count's residence, Niedick Castle. The water palace was completed in 1560. Since 1306, Arnstadt was ruled by the Counts of Schwarzburg, and from the 16th century until 1920 it was part of Schwarzburg-Sondershausen. With the onset of industrialization, a residential area emerged to the west and south of the old town, and industrial areas to the north. During the Second World War, it was the site of a prisoner of war camp, mainly for Poles and Russians. 1,700 prisoners were housed in tents that contained only 100 bunks. The camp was liberated by American forces in April 1945. A number of mass graves were discovered. 1,200 civilians from the neighboring city of Weimar were brought on a forced tour of the camp. This included a parchment display, which displayed a lampshade made of human skin. The display also included pieces of skin used for painting pictures. After the Second World War, the town expanded further to the north along the Gera. New residential areas emerged in the 1970s and 80s. In the east and southeast of Arnstadt, including the residential Ravenhole. Arnstadt is a manufacturing center with glassworks and foundries, a solar panel production plant, and glove manufacturing and wood finishing businesses. Manganese is mined in the vicinity. Main sites. Arnstadt has a beautifully kept old city, restricted to pedestrian traffic. Its noteworthy buildings include the 13th-century Church of Our Lady, an 18th-century palace, the Bach Church. The composer Johann Sebastian Bach, whose family lived for generations in the vicinity of Arnstadt, became the organist at the new church in 1703 while he was still in his teens. He stayed there until 1707. Bach had a high opinion of Johann Friedrich Wender, the organ builder who had recently constructed the church's organ. While there is some uncertainty about which of his surviving compositions were produced in Arnstadt, there is evidence that the Wender organ, which still survives, allowed Bach to experiment with unusual modulations and harmonies. Many Bach scholars believe his well-known Toccata and Fugue in D minor was composed with the Arnstadt organ in mind. Miscellaneous. The annual precipitation averages 487 millimeters. The town hosts an annual high jump meet, Hochsprung mit Musik, which attracts some of the world's foremost high jumpers. Kaiserberg Kavis set a world record in Arnstadt's Sport Hall am Sport Park in 2006. Gallery. People. Willibald Alexis. Johann Sebastian Bach. Ludwig Bechstein. Johann Christian von Hellbach. Marcel Gittel. Johann Friedrich Wender.